sent you all an email yesterday also outlining our canned food drives exception for you guys. And I'm giving you a lot of freedom because I appreciate your willingness to do that. So please read the email I sent. It tells you how to drop it off, where to drop it off, when you can drop it off. So please read that, okay? And ask me if you have any questions about it. I need to be at the drive, so you're gonna bring your stuff in. Charlie participates. He's gonna bring his paper towels in, put them right here at his seat, with a little note card right here where he writes Charlie. Okay? So I know he was here and dropped it off. If you're contributing money, and that's part of it too, if you want, don't do that. Like, don't drop that off. Drop the paper towels off, but give me the money in class. Okay? We'll take care of that. Or leave it before school, after school, if you want. No money. Don't leave money in the room. Okay? No money in the room. Just the paper towels with your note card and your name. Okay? And you can do that. I've outlined other times that you can do that. It's not just before school. You can do it other times. Okay? Okay, so now we're getting ready to take the first part of our test, and we need to talk about the problems that are going to be on your test here in a few minutes. So one of the problems, I'm looking at my review sheet number 2, which is the very last side. We've already done all of these on review sheet number 1, so now we're doing them again. The directions say solve. How do I solve that?
Move the 8x over.
Move the 8x over. Take out an x. Go to my number line. X can be 0 or 8. And then pick a number to decide where it should.
1.
1. All right, I can try 1. So 1 times negative 7. Is 1 times negative 7 bigger than 0?
No.
So I'm not shading where the 1 is. Instead, I'm shading out here. And negative infinity to 0. And 8. Running.
Do you shade when the equation is true?
Yep. You shade the section that makes it true.
Move the 8.
All right, so what do I want to do with this one?
Move the 8 minus 2.
Move everything over. It's just like this one, guys. I need to have a 0. So now I have a 0. There aren't any like terms. It's supposed to be like terms. So now I have to factor it because I know I'm going to draw a number line and I'm going to put 3 dots on that number line. But I can't group that.
PRRs.
So PRRs, factors of 8. Negative 2, you said? Oh, wow. You got it.
Wow.
Good job. So that means that one of my dots is going to be at negative 2. I'm not going to put it up here yet because I'm not sure which one of those it's going to be, but one of my dots is going to be negative 2. And one of my factors then is x plus 2, because that's how I got negative 2. How do I know there's 3 factors? X cubed, right? XXX. All right, now what's left here is x squared plus 3x minus 4. And that can factor, I'm going to write them up here, x plus 4 minus 1.
What do we do?
Quadratic formula.
Oh.
So what if you do the quadratic formula and you get a imaginary? Or is that
That's not going to happen, but we mean you didn't have a dot. There's no dots on your number line then. There's only that dot. The other 2 are dots. These are real zeros. By the way, they should be colored in. And they're at -4, -2, and 1.
Well, we get the same answer if we do the
numbers are the answers. You're gonna get the same answer regardless. Okay? Now, pick a number. I'm gonna pick 0 because it's fastest and easiest for me. So 0 gives me 2 times 4 times -1. Is 2 times 4 times -1 less than 0?
Yes.
Yep. So that gets colored.
So then it's not.
Doesn't and does. So my answer is -infinity to -4. Whoops, bracket. Or -2 to 1. All right. Now see, another inequality. That's what you're going to be doing mostly today, is these inequalities. So what do we do with this?
You might as
Move the
well.
2 over.
Gotta move the 2 over. Now, this one is a little bit trickier because you've got to make a fraction, one fraction. So when I subtract this 2 over, now I'm gonna need to get a common denominator. So x plus 4, x plus 4. My denominator is x plus 4. You want one fraction. You make them one fraction. The denominator's x plus 4. The numerator, watch it, -2x, -8. -2 times x, -2 times 4. So -x minus 11 over x plus 4. So we go to the number line. We're gonna have 2 dots on the number line. One of the dots is at -4, right? This, I always get confused, so I'm just gonna solve it. -x minus 11. How do I get 0? I let x be -11. That's what you said to start with, so it's fine, however you do it. But I have to work it out when it goes weirdness like that. So x equals -11 and -4.
-11 is shaded,
The
right?
-11 is shaded, but the -4 isn't, because we never shade
The denominator.
denominator. I'm gonna try 0, 0's out here. 0 would give me -11 over 4. Is that bigger than 0? No, so I'm not shading there, which means I will shade there. So -11 to 4.
-4 over.
-4. Okay? Now, all the problems we've done so far have been inequalities, all right? Now we have an equals, we have an equation. Now, what is different about an equation?
You can.
No number line, no number line, no intervals. Your answer is going to be x equals 7 or something, right? It's an equals problem. So, big, ugly equals problem.
What is like zeros?
Now, for this problem, to save myself from writing and to save time, I went ahead and factored that last denominator. Did everybody catch that?
Yeah.
You want to do that. If something factors, you want to factor it. Now, you have essentially 4 fractions in this problem. You need all of the denominators to be the same. So, this one is going to need an x minus 2, right? This one is going to need an x plus 1. This one needs everything, right? So this one needs x minus 2, x plus 1. and that one doesn't need anything. In an equation, as soon as the denominators match, you can get rid of them, they cancel out. Not in an inequality. In that inequality we did a minute ago, this guy right here, we keep them, the whole thing. But in an equation, the denominators are gone, so I'm gonna FOIL this. X squared minus 4x plus 4, I FOILed, plus 3x squared plus 3x, distribute, equals, okay, so that FOILed is x squared minus x minus 2. So 4x squared minus 4x minus 8, I gotta take 4 times all of it, and then plus 3. Whoa, how many x squareds do I have on this side? Don't I have 4x squareds on this side?
Yeah.
And they're gonna cancel with those 4 over there? Think about subtracting it over, aren't they gonna disappear?
-1.
So I've got negative x plus 4 equal to negative 4x minus 5. So 3x equals negative 9. I just got negative 3 as my answer.
Wow.
Right? All right, 2 more problems and then we will have done all of today's test. We've got one of the big ones. Here we go. So the question here is going to be find vertical asymptote, find horizontal asymptote, find all that, and then ultimately you're gonna sketch it. So you can sketch it as you go or sketch it at the end, it doesn't matter, but you know what you're gonna have to do here. So on the top, I can take out a 3, and then it will factor into x plus 5 minus 2. And my denominator is the difference of squares. Okay?
Have a hole.
I'm going to have a hole, might as well take care of it. And I'm ultimately then going to sketch this. This is what I'm sketching, right here. There will be a hole where x is 2, and if I plug in 2, I get 3 times 7 over 4, 21/4. What, I'm gonna go ahead and graph that, 21/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 2 21/4s. Alright, what else can I put in? You're gonna have a bunch of blanks, you're not gonna have to guess.
Oh, you have horizontal 3 over 1.
Horizontal asymptote, y equals 3. Guys, you're gonna lose points if you don't write y equals. Y equals 3.
Vertical.
Vertical is at
-2.
x equals negative 2. Intercepts,
0, -5 for y.
right, no,
X
x.
is numerator.
Well, I don't know what.
It asks for y.
There's
X-intercept is -5 comma 0. How do we get an x-intercept?
numerator equals
Numerator equal to 0. So 3x plus 15 equals 0. 3x equals negative 15, x equals negative 5. How do we get a y-intercept? let X be 0, so I'm gonna get 15 over 2. So 7.5. 15 over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Now, at this point, all the blanks should be filled in, and now you need to draw your picture. So hopefully, you are able to do that. Jake?
Is it just a coincidence that the x-intercept is the opposite of the?
It always is.
It always
What
is.
makes it 0? Yeah, it's our coincidence, it always is. Okay? And then the last thing you're gonna have to do today, the last thing is you're gonna have to find the end behavior asymptote. So it's going to say, find the end behavior asymptote. And how do we do that? What do we do to find the end behavior asymptote?
So synthetic division.
So in here will be 3, and then 2, -4, 1. 6, 2, 6, we don't care.
So y
Y equals 2x plus 2. Right? Alright. Take a second, calm yourselves, digest what we've been doing.
Yeah. We're done.
No calculator, but I will, you think you might want a little one?
Anything you need to get
Just for if we finish early, are we allowed to go to lunch?
Oh Lord, how much trouble did that get me in?
Zero.
I know.
You get Colby, you're already a club now. I'll take it. I need one.
Just practice.
You will get 0.
All right, we got our dividers up.